Trump started all of this.
Oh,
I'm
well.
so happy that you're on board. This is so great. Thank you very much.
You need a pen that works. I had one. Oh, here, try that.
You know where the gavel is, or just had one I'm supposed to.
Oh, no. So, but we'll, I don't know what happened to it, but, well, did.
It might be that,
Maybe just before.
So we try to make them.
yeah, okay.
Hi, are you nervous?
She's making copies. Okay.
We like to.
I always,
Do you?
I didn't scratch it.
Well, there was never one before, but you started thinking
It's like
things get out of order.
Yeah, they know.
You don't want to just,
Like,
Really appreciate your.
hey, good morning, Gary. You're flanked by Ian? Yeah.
Ann's.
Does Arkansas TV like specific
Okay.
I like it.
for Arkansas
Yeah.
TV, or do you broadcast like some of the stuff national?
He's flanked by Ian. So
There was there's a saying in improv, just say yes and. So
just works. They want to
just say yes and. I'll just be yes and.
I use the improv as an instructional.
I used to talk to Bob, and I said, my name should be something more than an artist. A-N-D, you know. I stuttered,
Really
and we're almost a stutter.
My nephew's Aunt Ian, I'm like, are you with
Yes. That's my gavel.
Ah, good. Come around here.
We're a little bit past time, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And if you would, please look at the minutes. If there are no changes, we'll accept a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Clemmer, second by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you very much. And we, in the future, just so you know, thank you so much. We're going to no longer have a chairman's report. The chairman's report will be along with every other commissioner. In my view, the role of the chairman is to preside over meetings. And so we will put any report or any comments that I may have in with my fellow commissioners. But saying that, pardon me just a minute, I was still in the minutes. We'll move to the agency updates, and with that, Executive Director Wing. Hello there. I was looking over there.
Not it.
Yes, we've got a nice laptop over there. So we will start with our prescribed order.
This is actually set up before I go to the video, so you can set up.
Sure, so we're just going to show you what has happened in the last 3 months since we saw you in March. And so we did a lot of things as usual, including basketball, baseball, softball, quiz bowl. We had the honor of seeing Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett at Crystal Bridges, and much more, so you'll just kind of see a highlight of those things.
And Dwayne or someone who has the remote may have to do volume.
I'm reading everything I'm excited to do at camp. I'm going hiking and tell ghost stories around the fire.
Bubba, bubba,
Can y'all hear it?
Uh-huh.
bubba, bubba.
That's a good one. Skipping rocks by the creek. I'm not sure how to spell creek. Do you know how to spell it?
Good evening, Lieutenant Bart. The word creek is used to describe a small stream or river. Creek has two special letter teams that work together like sports teams. Creek begins with the letters C and R. These letters make the sounds K and R. And in this word, we hear the sound of the C and R. But they blend together quickly to form a consonant blend team to create the sound Kerr.
Working quickly goes Jefferson. Nice pass across the lane into the hands of Maples, and it's good. The 1A state championship is headed back to Earl, Arkansas, as they're your 2026 state champions in girls basketball.
Keaton Mathis, another one of those seniors. He's been at a state title game plenty of times. He's a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, 4 straight for Keaton, looking for his 3rd ring.
And Kevin, what a game it was. But again, Valley View flexing their muscle, and they showed why they're the best team in all of 5A.
1-1 from Crane. Hit to right center. That's down for a base hit. DiGiovanna brings it back in, but it's a 1-out single for Farmington. Here comes the throw. Depew scores. Gordon Iyer, the game-winning hit.
This controversial emperor, the last of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, named the Roman emperor famously, though likely inaccurately, remembered for fiddling. Hazen Michael?
Nero.
Yes.
You don't like the label a conservative justice, but to the outside world, there's this storyline that, the court is deeply ideologically divided and falls along party lines. So how politicized is the court really, or not?
So I think it's important to look at the statistics. And so I talk about in the book, looking at a few terms, how the cases break down. And historically, this is true now, and it's been true, over the last couple decades, the court is unanimous in roughly half the cases a term. So the court is unanimous in about 50%, give or take, each year of cases. And then there's a bit more of a percentage where you might have like one justice in disagreement. So that bumps that number up a little bit higher and makes clear that it's not really ideological if you just have one person dissenting. And then in the next batch, you have all kinds of lineups that don't break down by party of appointing president.
Whenever you look at civic debate and dialogue, obviously respect, listening, these things are incredibly important part of it, respect for each other. But I think a very important part of it that I want to extend it to is service. And if you engage in some level of civic responsibility, then you're going to change your whole attitude about life, and you're going to respect people more. And that's what I see that we really need to teach the next generation.
This is such an honor for me, and I know that's cliche that everybody says that, but reality, I came here back in 1994. I'm sorry, a little nervous. And didn't come with the intention to stay. I just came to record an album and be out of here. And then the circumstances, ran out of money, had to find me a job with the schools. And the only thing I knew to bring these kids together was music. And it worked.
William, you have so many people who care about you, and we want to keep you safe. That is what we will do. Please know we will protect you as best we can from this going any further.
No, don't tell anyone.
I can understand why you wouldn't want to tell anyone, and I promise I won't tell anyone who doesn't absolutely need to know.
Good morning, Wynne Junior High School. Today we are excited and proud to welcome all of our military families to our school. We are honored to have you here and can't wait to learn about the incredible men and women from our community who have served in the military. We're especially excited.
Wynne is a very military-proud, connected community, and as such, we are striving to make sure that all of our identified students and their families feel supported and have the resources that they need.
It's really important that districts take time to find ways to include all students in clubs and extracurricular activities. That may look like a chess club, a robotics club. It could be a buddy system where we have some of our typical peers working with our students who have disabilities to ensure they can access the school community and really have meaningful participation. That extends to our playgrounds. We have inclusive playgrounds at all of our elementary buildings and our middle school buildings so that students aren't left sitting on the sidelines watching their peers. They're able to play with them and really have true relationships, no matter whether it's in our buildings or outside.
So one of the unique ideas that we had this year, my friend Terry Guess and I, Terry is the instructional facilitator, the literacy person here, and we thought, you know, we send a lot of information home to parents, but parents don't always sit and read all of that information because sometimes it's a lot. And so we tried to think of how can we reach more parents? And we know that today podcasts are huge. And so we thought, you know what, we can try.
When they're thinking about their physical security for that building, they need to work from the inside out. So in a pre-existing building, the safest place for a student during a lockdown situation is the classroom.
I'm lucky to be here today to be able to recognize, first of all, the Mansfield Lady Tigers volleyball team, the 2025 state champions. Would you please stand up? The team is led by Coach Kaylee Piles, and they have won the last 5 out of 6 state championships in Arkansas. Thank you.
Next up for the house, number 25, Chad Puryear.
Bill, I also think Chad was voted best dressed this game with that neon yellow belt he's got on.
He can play in traffic with that belt.
Kazoo. K-A-Z-O-O. Kazoo.
Scumble.
Scumble. Can you say that in a sentence, please?
The art teacher showed the class how to scumble an area of canvas to achieve a softer effect.
Scumble. S-C-U-M-B-L-E. Paratactic. P-A-R-A-T-A-C-T-I-C. Paratactic.
So number 30, that was the champion word for number 37.
And there you have it, some of the best spellers in our state, and a congratulations to tonight's winner, Karthik Talai. How does it feel to be the best speller in the state?
It feels amazing. I was really excited when I won. Like, I kind of burst into tears, honestly, but like, I was really happy, and I'm excited to go to this Scripps National Spelling Bee.
What does it take to prepare to be the best speller in the state?
Well, it was a lot of preparation and hard work and dedication. I studied almost like 8 to 10 hours a day whenever I was preparing for this moment, and I'm really happy it all paid off.
And any tips and tricks for maybe kids at home that are watching this tonight?
Don't ever give up and persevere throughout your struggles, and you'll be able to be like me one day.
Also, and it's happening heavily this month, is our Read to Succeed program. So what this is that we go into communities and read to families. Commissioner Cowie has been a part of several of these in her region. What we do is we meet people where they are with their families. We always serve a meal, we always give the children a book, and we read, because the best way to learn how to read is to do it. So here you see already 400 plus children and families have attended 5 events, and we have 6 events coming up in by the end of this month. So.
And we've also been out in the community quite a bit in connection with Ken Burns' The American Revolution. So we received, marketing and engagement team received a grant to help celebrate America's 250th this year. And so we've had a number of different types of events, screening events. We were part of National History Day, and we gave away some contest prizes for some students that did projects in connection with this project. And then most interesting has been our Transcribe-a-thons, which I give all of the credit to my colleague, Casey Sanders. She's really done yeoman's work getting all around the state in connection with different libraries and different, like Sajni said, meeting people where they are. But what the Transcribe-a-thons are is training everyday citizens to transcribe Revolutionary era documents, and it could be anything from a recipe to music to anything. And so they are learning how to transcribe these for the Library of Congress. So we've actually had one of our contacts at the Library of Congress has reached out to Casey to get some more information to kind of help spread this idea around the country, because it's been really helpful for them and it's been a really neat experience. So we've had 3 events since we last met, about 120 attendees. The photos you see below there were the event that happened at Harding. So again, you can kind of see it was, all ages from young to the elderly have been interested and engaged in this. So been really excited to be part of it.
Okay, so next is the IDEAS program, which is a teacher professional development program that we do for teachers in the state of Arkansas. We've had a very busy quarter. You guys maybe remember I spoke about a book that we wrote in celebration with the commission, Arkansas 250 Commission, called Arkansas's Capital History Hunt. And I think we sent you guys one, I hope, in the mail. So it was written by Corey Womack here and illustrated by Jamie Walters, and we had Emma Mathias, our educator, on it. We, with the Department of Ed, got all of these books, which were printed by Parks and Tourism and the Commission, and we delivered it to every kindergarten through 2nd grade student in the state. So we're very proud of it. You see them packing up those books. And then, of course, we did a lot of courses and teachers took them. This past Monday, we launched 2 of our programs that took a year long, because one is about youth suicide and the other was on family engagement, and you saw a little bit of that. But it takes a while because there's a lot of responsibility to talk about those topics and help teachers manage those in the classroom. So I wanted to mention one other thing. We are working very hard and very excited about an Arkansas history course that we're doing and documentary. It was written by Elizabeth Yates, one of our head curriculum managers. It goes from pre-archaic Arkansas to current day, 90-page script. I counted last night just for fun. We are looking at over 665 archives. So I think it's going to end up being something very special for the state that takes us through our history. So, and Maggie Andrews is co-producing, and I've just been the lead producer on that. So we hope that's coming out. It's a lot to do, and to do it right. So the research took a very long time because we wanted to make sure that we researched it properly. So that's IDEAS.
And then for key efforts coming up, we've got just as much as you've seen the last 3 months. We've got even more coming up in the next 3 months and then beyond that. So I will turn it over. Both Carlton and Sajni are going to talk about some of our upcoming productions. You want to do the first 2?
Yeah, we'll just go left to right across the screen here, but one of the things that we really wanted to focus on is Arkansas's history and the people who have had a very unique view of that history by participating in it. And so we call it Living History, and it's kind of a take on the oral history projects that have gone on for a long time. Our first episode features former Governor Asa Hutchinson. He has certainly had a unique view of Arkansas history. We spent an hour and a half interview there at his office, and then we spent another 30 minutes going around the room looking at photos and different other mementos. It should be a very interesting little viewpoint through the lens of someone who has lived quite a bit of Arkansas history there. So we're excited about that. That premieres, oh, is that right? Yeah, July 2nd. Okay, very good. And then Arkansas Taste Kitchen, I think we highlighted that in the last meeting, but we have the rest of our season will be starting in July as well. And this is something that is very significant, addresses a very unique need for the state of Arkansas.
And then Blueberries, back you saw a little clip. It is focused on literacy and science of reading instruction. And so you saw a sneak peek of the first 15 minutes, but the full episode and 2 more episodes will premiere on July 26th. And then Arkansas Week, you know Arkansas Week, but we are going to extend it to 60 minutes so we can cover more content on what's going on in the state. Okay, so you guys have not seen these, so we're very excited to share some new programs that are going to come out this fall. So I'll talk about Arkansas Talks Health. We are going to do an hour-long panel discussion, bringing in experts, nonprofit organizations, caregivers, people in our communities, talking about the health issues that affect all of us, of course, and our family and friends. The first probably month or 2, or maybe 3, we're going to focus on older adults, so 65 and older. You may know in 2011, the baby boomers reached 65, and in 3.5 years, the youngest baby boomers will reach 65. So there's quite a significant percentage population of older adults in our community, and the rurality of our state causes more immense challenges in health, of course. So we think bringing people in, talking about the things that are affecting their family, because health is always important, will be important. So we'll focus on that. I'll tell you a couple of the aging topics that we'll do is brain health and memory, Alzheimer's and dementia, falls prevention, nutrition, chronic pain, caregiving. Something with Alzheimer's that's very important, it's sometimes harder on the caregiver than the patient itself. So we're going to really dig into that.
Yes.
Social isolation, again, rural health, the rurality of our state. It's important for us to talk about the uniqueness of those. Disaster preparedness, all of those things, because there are older adults living alone. So we hope that that will open the conversation and we'll really, get some of the experts in here. The next one is in honor of, we're very honored to have First Lady Barbara Pryor here, but we've been working with the Pryor Center to bring some of their amazing content to broadcast. And so I know people go there and watch it there, but this will also reach people who may not have internet, since we're a broadcast. And so we are working with them now to pick out the first 2 in July. And so just very honored to bring that to broadcast. You want to take the next wild one?
All right. Well, Steve Wildman Wilson is coming back to public television, and that is very nice. I reached out to him early on, and I said it's time to come back home. And so we will be bringing Wildman back, as well as, I'll skip ahead a little bit, Arkansas Wildlife. It'll be an outdoors hour that will be able to highlight all of the outdoors recreation and the amazing opportunities that we have here in the state of Arkansas. And we're unique. Arkansas is very unique in its diversity of terrain and activities and just the natural wildlife that we enjoy that sometimes we take for granted until we go other places and realize how much we have here. So we'll be able to highlight that both with Wildman Wilson's show and Naturally Wild coming from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
Great. And so I'll kind of go out of rotation too. You'll see Arkansas TV Sports, which clearly we do, but there's a hint there. Do you know what it is? We're adding soccer.
Yes.
So we have never had soccer before. That will come out in May, in the same month of baseball and softball. And so the AAA had just approved adding soccer to broadcast, or moving it. So we'll be able to broadcast it. It was, the championship was the same day as baseball and softball, which was the reason why we couldn't do all three. So we're very excited about that. Do you want to start, Braver?
Yeah, well, and I'll just add also that I believe soccer was the last team sport that we were not televising. So now this gives us a nice clean slate there. And soccer is, of course, quite large across the state. So that gives us another opportunity to highlight our student athletes and their achievement. And then Braver Arkansas, I first got to know the Braver Angels group years ago when I was serving in my other public service capacity. And what they do to try to encourage civil discourse, to be able to take tough topics and get people to come together and listen to each other is very significant. Civil discourse is something that is needed now more than ever, at least in our lifetimes. And so what they are doing at that organization is significant, and we want to bring that to our statewide audience so that they can learn the skills and the techniques to be able to discuss difficult things, because in our society we have a tendency to want to sequester and silo ourselves and just listen to our people, and that—
No, we don't.
Yeah, we could demonstrate right here, yeah. But, and so we're bringing a Braver Arkansas to our airwaves so that people can see and learn these techniques across the state. I'm very excited about this.
Yes, and we actually didn't. He had brought this up to me, and it's a coincidence, but the two individuals that do this is Dr. April Chatham Carpenter and Dr. Glenn White. Dr. Carpenter, I was a graduate student of hers, and I will say I think the public will learn what I did, which she taught me things that I've brought here, which is to content. It's like finding common ground, universal themes, and I just think I'm very excited that people get to hear how they kind of talk about these things. So I'm also very excited.
Yep, very good.
All right, so our live streaming Arkansas Live, you want me to talk to this, Sajni, or do you want to take this?
Either one.
Dean Nance is probably surprised to see her picture on the slide. But one of our Arkansas, embarrassed now, one of our Arkansas live streams that will be coming August 22nd, we've streamed for many years the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame, but we're excited to announce that Commissioner Nance will be inducted this year. She's one of 6 or 7 Arkansans who have influenced the direction of our state. So we're very honored to have her representing not only herself and what she's accomplished, but also representing Arkansas TV. And then the Little Rock Touchdown Club, we have also streamed this for a couple of years. It always gets a ton of views. People are really, that is something where if you don't have a ticket to be able to be in the room, the next best thing is you get the front row seat. Really probably the better thing, because you get close-up shots and all the multiple angles, because we multicam live stream those events. So Little Rock Touchdown Club will be coming back this fall as well. And then, as we mentioned earlier, with the community engagement, Read to Succeed, and our transcribe-a-thons for AR Voices at 250, will continue through the next, the bulk of it is the next month. So we have a very busy June. You can see we're covering about the top half of the state with Read to Succeed events, and then the second half of transcribe-a-thons will happen in the lower half of the state. So we're going to be in everybody's neck of the woods this June. And then I don't have walk-up music.
It's okay.
We talked about that last time, and I forgot to put walk-up music because, unfortunately, finance has to follow all of that. Really exciting.
Finance wants their own sizzle reel.
That's a joke.
But I will turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to walk through some quick bullet points. For this morning's financial report, I want to take you through the first 9 months of fiscal year 26, our current fiscal year. It started July 1st, runs through June 30th. We're 9 months in. So we'll get to this in a moment, but there's not a slide for this part, but we had revenues of $8.4 million in that 9 months, 9 out of the 12 months, and expenditures of $9.1 million. So year to date, that means our net expenditures exceeded revenues by about $700,000. So this was a very extraordinary year, very different because of the loss of CPB funds, which we had for many years in the past, the $2.5 million. So actually that's just a fraction of that $2.5 million that we lost. And a large reason that we were able to make it this far through the 9 months at that level without going further down is because of the $1.5 million of emergency funds from the foundation. So that just helped tremendously. It helped fill the gap, at least to that point. Comparing to prior year, 9 months to 9 months, so the same point in the year, our revenues decreased by about $600,000, and our expenditures decreased a little bit more by about $900,000. So that's a positive thing. The main differences that contributed to that on the revenues was, of course, the loss of the CPB funding, that large amount, $2.5 million. The increase in the foundation support, which was especially the emergency support, $1.5 million. At that point through the 9 months, it really made a difference there of about 1.2 of that 1.5 million. And then we also had a decrease in the transfers in revenue because of an archive project in 2025 that ended. We didn't have that in this year. That large project, you'll see the same offset in expenses, and then other various items to round out that $600,000 decrease in revenues. Then on the expenses, again, that decreased about $900,000, so a little bit more than the decrease in revenues. Again, decreasing expenses more than revenues is a positive. So we really focused this year on intentionally on reducing the budget and the expenditures where we could. The largest part was the decrease in the annual dues from PBS, because we paid $2.3 million in fiscal year 25 the year before. So they were able to reduce that down because of the stress on their affiliate stations. And so it went down from 2.3 to 2,048,000 this year. So that was a big part of our expense reduction, probably the largest piece. And then we also had a larger time frame to pay. So there's a little bit of a timing difference when we look 9 months to 9 months. We had again, that project. We had audiovisual expense that was less this year, kind of netted against the same revenue that we brought in last year. And then we had repairs that was actually have a timing difference on repairs. We had paid more at this point last year. We do have a large bill for repair coming in, so there's timing differences on some of those things. Capital outlay. So our capital expenses, we intentionally again cut this year. We basically deferred because of the large loss from CPB, but we've put that into our budget to catch up again in fiscal year 27. So now to this slide. Instead of looking backward, now we're looking forward. So this is state fiscal year 2027. Our upcoming next year starts July 1st of this year. This is a high-level summary by category or commitment items, the category of expenditures for the FY27, fiscal year 27 budget that we submitted this past month in May to Department of Finance and Administration looking forward. And so that, compared to prior year, was a decrease of about $600,000, where we intentionally, again, have been looking where we can find efficiencies to lower our budgeted costs there. So you'll see that's mostly in the operating expenses, and then the other expenses make up the difference. And then we did, on capital outlay, we did include close to the same level as we had budgeted but didn't spend to that level in 26. So we just kind of moved that forward a year. Other points, the fiscal year 27 budget, what you don't really see on the slide, but we've projected to be fully funded to our revenues, basically in balance there to our projected revenues. Again, it's partially due to a reduction of expenditures, which was intentional, and looking for those efficiencies. It is also, we have $1 million more at this point than we knew about in December when we were here talking about this 6 months ago. And that again is due to the foundation's commitment to help balance out that budget this year, the increased donor contributions. So I think that pretty much covers the upcoming fiscal year 27 budget. And at the appropriate time, I believe it'll be with the regular reports, but separate from those, it will need a motion and a vote to approve the budget that we submitted to DFA. I think that concludes the financial report.
Any questions on the financial report? Comments? Go ahead.
Well, do we need to accept the funds from the foundation? Do we need to acknowledge that? Do we need to thank them for their work? I don't know if that's appropriate at this time, but I think they've done something not much short of Herculean to raise this money in the last 3 months. Do we need to acknowledge that in some way? I think it would be appropriate. So I guess I'm asking if that's not an inappropriate motion, I'd like to.
It's not inappropriate.
I'd like to move that we accept the funds raised by the foundation to cover the PBS dues and confirm our willingness to go along with that plan to air PBS programming with the funds that they raised for us.
That's a substantive motion, so we'll, rather than, and I think wasn't Commissioner Nance going to make them?
That's a possibility as well. I think this was just to express gratitude.
This could be, yes, I mean, but
that's certainly appropriate.
with our understanding the purpose and our intent to honor the purpose though of the funds that were raised. Is that?
I would ask that this one be limited to the gratitude. Okay. And I think that's sufficient at this time, and then we'll move to the substantive.
Okay, gotcha.
If you don't mind.
Okay, so with that poorly said,
no.
I would like to move then that we express our gratitude to the foundation for their massive effort in raising the money so that we can continue the program.
Okay. Do you have a second?
I second.
Okay. Second by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We glossed over any questions or comments about the content reports, so wanted to circle back on that, unless there's anything else on the financial side at this point. If not, does anyone have?
Cynthia wants to talk.
Yes. Commissioner Nance.
Thank you. I just had a quick question about as we develop the Arkansas programming. I know that Executive Director Wing had mentioned that there were entities that were very interested in sponsoring that program, and I just wonder if any of that has come to fruition or that's still underway.
Yes and yes. So we have people who have signed on board. In fact, with our Arkansas Taste Kitchen, we've got underwriters there, but then we also have many that are, now that we are starting to debut more and more topics and titles, we're getting more and more interest from our local underwriting community as well. And that's a very good step in the right direction.
It is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have anything? I think that was our last report before we do a motion. Is the executive
Well,
director's
no,
report.
we're having discussion now on the financial report. Anything else, financial side? We skipped right past your reports, and so are there any content, the reports that Ms. Compuris and Ms. Ingram shared earlier?
So
Any
I would like
questions?
to ask a question or just make a comment about Arkansas Ideas. That's totally in cooperation with the Arkansas Department of Education, isn't it?
Correct.
Do they direct us
They do.
on content?
They do. It is a grant to do work because we are educators and video professionals to make high-quality educational content for teachers, to train them on mostly legislatively, like a law that has been put in place. The most common ones are the Right to Read Act, bullying, youth suicide,
Yes.
child maltreatment. So we really are kind of experts at
Right.
providing training on those to keep children safe in the classroom.
Right. I just
Yes.
wanted to make that point that
Yes.
we are totally directed by the Department of Education, but we develop the content.
Correct.
Yes.
We're like the content creators
Yes.
and the curriculum
Thank you.
creators, yes.
In that regard, it was very encouraging to see phonics decoding, leading
Yes.
on Blueberry.
It was.
The sounding out the word, and so
Great.
I'm wondering how much of that is embedded in the new series? What percentage would you say of the series is focused on reading?
All of Blueberry is focused on reading, that's it. So we'll do about, they say typically in a 30-minute, you should focus on 2 to 3 words. So that's actually for kids to digest. So that's what we'll do. And we did get an expert who, in Science of Reading, to help us. We made sure that, speaking it, the sounds are important and things like that. So yes, we have quite a few, and we'll continue to have Blueberry be the Science of Reading literacy. And I think it's exciting. I think classrooms can use it as a little fun moment to have the kids enjoy, but they're learning just as well. So I see a lot of promise for that, to focus on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you heard how many classrooms, do you get reports from classrooms, how many are using that?
Blueberry, so that is something that we funded. We got a grant from the foundation. So the station, Not Ideas, is funding Blueberry. We did that as a station because we are, that is not an ADE funded project, Blueberry. But we are an education unit, so we studied and did it. So I'd like it if they can give me some money towards it.
No, I meant, have you heard that they're, how
We
many are
haven't
using
offered
it?
it to classrooms.
Okay.
It's only on broadcast right now, but we plan to, when it's done, to offer it to ADE if they'd like it to be a part of classrooms. So right now, it's just a broadcast program.
But they can, you said they.
Sure.
Yeah, they are able
Yep.
to use it.
Yes. Yeah. It's not in like the Ideas LMS, like with supplemental materials or anything like that yet. It's just on broadcast as the show itself. But I'd love to expand it to that.
We, in earlier meetings, had challenged the staff to create a show about reading and literacy. So it's very, very encouraging to see this. It also, it makes one wonder, is this something exportable? Because as you were doing research, there aren't, if any, there is no real programming on the Science of Reading nationwide. So is this something that we could export from Arkansas to other stations?
Sure. I mean, I think Mystery League is a great example of that. We made that for Arkansas.
Right.
We did it well. We really paid attention to standards, not only in Arkansas, but nationally, and it got picked up nationally. So we always put that in mind. We want it to serve as many children as it possibly can. So that's the dream, for sure.
And Mystery League is civics oriented.
Is
so-
civics. And so it will have a new run because 4th of July, and this is the 250th. I think the beginning of July, we'll run that on Mondays for 9 weeks on the main channel.
Mr. Chair, I'll add that with all that's been going on in public television across the country, a lot of stations are now collaborating more and more with content. So we see a lot more demand for things like Blueberry's Clubhouse with other stations that are looking, and we're looking to share other stations, entities, and bring them here as well. So it's a very collaborative environment and really prime for programs like Blueberry's to hit the national stage.
And can you cut out the middleman? Can you go directly to a state and provide?
Absolutely. Yep.
And vice versa.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's very encouraging. It also made me think of the Amy Coney Barrett interview. That is a national, it was both with the host and the subject. How quickly could that be offered out to other stations and other?
We've already asked them if we could broadcast it, so it was a live stream.
Yes.
And I believe, have they responded yet? They haven't, so
I see.
we're waiting for
That maybe is the
permission.
terms of-
But you're absolutely, that was great, and we hope to put it on broadcast.
Yeah, and we had national news organizations that were trying to pull from our feed on the live broadcast as well, so they could see what was going on.
Were they allowed?
They were, yes.
Oh, interesting.
And is it still accessible?
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay, I have a couple more. Anybody else?
Well, I just want to say overall, what strikes me besides the high attention to education, which of course is dear to my heart, all of our hearts, but it just feels like what this station does and what it should do, it's reflective of the state. So when I watch that, I see my neighbors, I see myself, I see what's important, and I also see response. I see response to what I'm concerned about, what my neighbors are concerned about, what the state's concerned about. So the fact that you do reflective and responsive work is impressive. So thank you for that. I think it's exactly what it should be.
Thank you.
We were talking about underwriting earlier, and that the AAA underwrites the sports. They don't?
No, they sponsor the event itself and all the activities for the schools. We put on the broadcast we do get underwriting sponsors aside from, so this may be a simple way, I hope, I am being recorded, right? But, so AAA, I think in the past, Channel 7 or them, they would pay AAA to be able to broadcast these events. This is a big event. They let us do it for free. And so I think that's a very special thing. And also we can do it for 3 days in a row without having to break for news and things like that. So that's really what it is. We get underwriters to help us pay for the broadcast portion of it. And then it's a lot of just staff that works on this.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And being the only statewide signal, and these schools come from all over the state, it makes it's very beneficial for AAA, it's very beneficial for us, and it is an absolute thrill for these communities to be spotlighted across the state.
Well, massive compliments to the team, because we are spoiled by production values of sports. We all watch sports and we just assume that's how it should be. So you don't tune into this and it's not jarring. It's what we're used to seeing, the quality we're used to seeing, but it's our own people.
Amen.
100% agree.
Gary, get out of Gary.
I saw the Game and Fish. You think of our relationship with the Department of Education. Game and Fish is sponsoring that program, is that correct?
The production of it,
The
and then we
production.
do the distribution of it, yes.
Again, very smart partnerships. What about parks, tourism, and heritage?
Would love that. So the 250 Commission, the
Okay.
books, they paid for those 144,000
Another great
books.
partnership.
Another great partnership, and we've worked with them. We did I don't know if you've seen like the 250 celebration videos
Yes.
with Secretary Shea Lewis and Oliva and all of those. We produced those for them. So we work with them on these, especially with the 250 celebration.
Well, I would make an ask of our other agencies, look to Arkansas TV, Department of Commerce. There are rich partnerships that may be had here that will benefit everybody. And all you need to do is to tune in and see the quality of the work, to know the value that this agency, if you will, can bring to other agencies. And the cost savings to Arkansas taxpayers of not going external. Let's keep it as much here as possible. And it's a great savings. One final question. The transcription of the founding documents.
Yes.
How many young people, as opposed to older folks, because They're not taught cursive anymore.
Yes, I know.
So and that's a real challenge on
Yes.
multiple fronts. But-
Yes, I don't have that percentage.
They are
And I don't have
Well,
Casey in the
6
room.
weeks, not the entire grade, like,
Yeah, Casey would be able to give you a more accurate answer on that, so I won't even entertain a guess. I don't know. I don't know the percentage.
but you did say some young people were there.
Yes.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it's open to all ages, and we've had all ages, so.
Very good. Any other comments, questions? We'll move to the executive director's report.
Okay. Let me lead off. I'll tie in with what Commissioner Cowie was mentioning about reflective and responsive of the state. Just a few days ago, we got an email reminder from the FCC about our obligations to serve our local communities. And there were no new laws or no new regulations, but they felt the need to remind us with our FCC license, and this is across every station in the country got the same reminder, but of our needs to reflect the interest and the needs of our local communities. And so that is what we are striving to do. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody here at Arkansas TV. Our leadership team, the 75 employees that we have here, bring their best every day. And this has not been the easiest of times in public television in this last year. And I just want to commend them for the work that they do that makes the things that we just saw there and many, many more happen every day. It happens because of the people that are here. And it's humbling to come to work every day and see the efforts and the fruits of their efforts as well. So I'm very grateful for that. And I wanted to point out that our team here has done a fabulous job. And this guy counting the numbers, these have been some pretty wild numbers here in the last year. So especially our CFO James Downs. I wanted to also highlight some significant achievements. Our Arkansas legislature deserves a lot of credit for showing more interest in public television than in any time in recent history. The vote numbers that we got for our basic appropriation, which is what we live by, were at the highest levels. And so they are reflective of the people of Arkansas who elect them. And so with all of the attention that has been given to public television nationwide, but certainly here in Arkansas, we're grateful for the legislative support as they are also interested in that responsive and reflective of the state of Arkansas needs. So I'm grateful for that. This afternoon, legislative audit will meet. And our audit passed without any exceptions, and so we don't even have to be there. And so that is another achievement as well. And so we are grateful for that. But again, more people are talking about public television than ever. And with all that has happened in the last year since the federal funding cuts took place, it has given time for the people of Arkansas, the people of the country, but we are certainly focused on the 3 million here, to reflect on what does public television mean to us?
Yes.
And what should we be doing? And where does the value come from public television? Those are healthy conversations to have. And we're meeting those questions with some answers, and that's what we have presented to you today. And we have more exciting things to come. Once we get the details and the signatures in the right places in 3 months when you come back, there's plenty more that's just on the cusp, on the horizon here as well.
Very good. Any questions? I have a few.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And I wanted to, the purpose of this is education. We have been through a lot in the last few weeks and months.
Yeah.
And so some of these I know the answers to, but I want it on the record.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the council, I've always given, not just new people to this commission, but any commission, is don't be the new kid. If you don't know something, ask it, because the public generally would not know. If you don't know, they may not know either. Mm-hmm. So the questions that we ask can many times be not just the questions for ourselves, but for the public. So with that, I would like to offer a series of questions that hopefully you can answer. Are PBS dues based in part on total non-federal revenue, which includes both public and private dollars?
Yes. Yes. And that has a significant impact for us because some of our revenues, a large chunk of our revenues, are not related to the broadcast product, but they count against us when they configure those dues, such as
The
our
ADE
Department of Ed grant.
So the
Yes.
$3 million approximately
Yes.
that comes from ADE, which is money in, money out, factors in our dues structure. And essentially, with the dissolution of Corporation for Public Broadcasting, all dues are non-federal
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Okay. Has PBS changed that requirement in response to the ending of the federal funding?
No.
Okay. So the more money AETN receives, both public dollars and private dollars, from the taxpayers, private donations, no matter the purpose, the more dues we are required to pay.
That actually is correct. Yeah.
Not based on viewers,
No.
not based on reach.
Yeah.
Based on how much revenue.
That's correct. Yeah.
Did the PBS president and CEO Paula Kerger seek to meet with you when she visited Arkansas at our last meeting?
No. No.
This is for Ms. Campuris. In the 7 years that you've been on the staff, has the executive director of PBS ever visited the station?
I don't think so, no.
Did Ms. Kerger offer to help Arkansas TV during her appearance before this commission?
I mean, I guess there were vague offers of we want to help, but there was nothing specific. In fact, I think I remember saying to her is we need specific help of lowering dues or menu pricing. They were offering a payment plan that was different, but
Right.
we were very cost conscious as you know,
Right.
and so that was all that I remember was an offer.
And there was already a reduction in dues that we experienced. But then, excuse me, the dues after the initial reduction weren't raised back to their previous level, but they have raised since the 2.045.
Yes.
2,048,000.
48, okay.
Yeah, they've come up to 2.151.
Okay. I think you've essentially already answered this, but has PBS made any changes to their business model as was requested? Because we brought up the menu pricing, we brought up the à la carte, we brought up the percentage, the bundling opportunity. So what we heard is, recall, the changes to the PBS model were layoffs and reduction of dues. And I want to point out that I think we're very fortunate that Arkansas TV has not had layoffs in that regard.
Yes.
So,
But your answer, your question is correct. There's been no change.
is PBS Kids available on the internet for free?
Correct. Through the streaming services.
Through the
as
streaming
well. Yeah.
services? And how much is PBS programming if purchased on the open market?
Like
For
a
individuals.
station- Oh, for individuals? Well, the PBS Passport app for $5 a month, you get all of the non-children's programming through PBS Passport.
PBS Pass?
Yes.
So it is available?
It is available for $5 a month, yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
Just
in
a
that regard?
fee.
Okay, with that?
Dr. Nance wants to talk.
Yes. Dr. Nance. Dean Nance.
Thanks for raising your questions, Mr. Chair. I'd like to follow up. I know that when the national director of PBS was in Arkansas, she mentioned that the board was going to take a look at their pricing model, that was not something she could answer at the time. And I wonder if there's been any follow-up from on our end to inquire about that. And then I'd like to point out I noticed that PBS Kids is available in streaming, but we do know and we are aware that that is an issue for some Arkansans, which is some of the value add we bring by making that available in a broadcast format. But I would like to know if we know where the national board is in terms of its review of pricing.
Address that we have monthly GM meetings that for all of the general managers across the country, and in each of the monthly meetings since, there has been no movement on that on any of those topics yet.
Thank you. And very much agree that the reach of the broadcast is extremely important.
Yes.
It's not an either or, it's an all of the above. So I appreciate Dean Nance for bringing that up.
Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
Back to raising more dues than required. Could you go through that again? I didn't quite understand what you meant if we raise above what they're requiring. Is it the 2.1 million?
Well, I fear it may be conflated. The formula for the dues, as I understand it, is very complicated. But one aspect of it is based on total non-federal revenue.
Right.
So that has not changed since there is no more federal revenue. All revenue is non-federal.
Right.
So I just wanted it known that our dues are based on total income. So the more money we raise, either from the public through tax dollars, more money we raise privately, the more dues we also will be responsible for paying.
So give me an example.
It's like a tithe.
It's
Like a tithe?
Like a
Is that
tithe.
what you said?
It's kind of, the model's basically based on how much do you have? And so when we raise money, then they know we have more to give. And because we're a public agency, our revenues are very public. And so when we raise more money, then they can in turn raise the dues structure. That dues structure is a hot topic nationally, I can tell you, and that a lot of our stations, especially our statewide entities, which is about 20 of us across the country, we are one of 20, and we have brought up the need to address with PBS the unfairness of the current structure, that possibly at least one potential option is to just go based on population. The population that we serve.
Exactly.
Just that number there rather than revenues, because not everybody has a Department of Ed grant like we have. Others have that and more, and then their dues. There are other states that have far less population and pay far more than we do even, but we are on the higher end. In terms of per capita, we pay more than most.
What I'm thinking is that I think we need to have a contract with PBS that is very clear, and you can calculate, and then the above donation, if we have it, we choose how to use it. Isn't that?
Well, we're abiding by their business model.
Right, that's what I mean about dialogue with them about modeling something for our state.
Yes.
I mean, if we don't have dialogue and ask for things like this, we're just at their mercy. And I think we should have input into what we do with any overage of money that comes in that's due them.
Mm-hmm. To that point, at the proper time, I actually have a motion that would.
Good.
And we can address, and then you can, or you can have your motion and we can go together however it works out best. But
perfect.
I think you're spot on. Anything else for the executive director's report? If not, we'll hear a motion for approval of the agency updates.
I move to accept.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? They are approved. Now we need a motion to approve the FY27 budget as presented.
I make that motion.
All right, got the motion? Got the second? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Budget is approved. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And with that, we'll move to the foundation update. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you all for your time today. I do want to start by expressing the Foundation's gratitude to the Commission for its decision in March, which provided us with the time and opportunity to launch a campaign to see if we could, in fact, secure the funding for the PBS dues, not just for FY27, but with an eye towards the future, towards sustainability. I am pleased to report, as most of you already know, that with the help of many advocates and champions, we have reached the financial goal for fiscal 27. We have also secured more than $1.5 million in annual commitments towards the PBS dues for FY28 and FY29, providing significant long-term sustainability for PBS programming and overall financial stability, greater stability for the network. All gifts that come in now to the PBS dues fund will be applied to fiscal year 28, which sounds like a long way away, but which actually begins just a year from now on July 1st, 2027, running through June 30, 2028. This achievement, I believe, is a testament to the value that Arkansans place on the PBS programming as a resource for trusted, high-quality, lifelong learning. As the nonprofit partner to the network, the foundation has the remarkable privilege of having an ongoing dialogue with our audience and with our donors. And we are grateful to be able to honor their wishes of providing the funding for the PBS programming for all Arkansans. Moving beyond the PBS dues, as shown in your meeting materials, along with those dues, the foundation is also substantially increasing its support for the network in FY27 to cover the balance of the loss of those federal funds, but also other operational support that we know is needed. This is in addition to increased support that we have secured specifically for local production, because in that dialogue with our audience, we also hear that balance of local, national, international is important to them. It's not an either or, it is a yes and. And lest you think that the foundation is absolutely awash in cash, please note that we are also, like the network, looking very closely at our budget, at our expenses, with an eye towards a balance between rigorous efficiency and long-term effectiveness, including the ability to respond when there is an emergency situation or unanticipated need, which has happened several times even during my tenure at the foundation with technology and equipment that was in facing imminent failure, or that had actually, broken and needed quick replacement. So that's one of the reasons why we have focused so heavily on building reserves over time at the foundation, is to be able to respond to those kinds of needs. So we are looking at our budgets. We are making judicious cuts in our operations this year, while also focusing even more keenly on cultivation and stewardship, especially with those new donors and funders that have come on board in the last 3 months. For now, I'd like to end my report where it began, with our heartfelt thanks to all of those whose contributions of time, talent, and treasure helped us to meet the financial goals that we set following the March Commission meeting. And just to reiterate that in less than 3 months, with that support, we have managed to get commitments or cash in the door for over $5.25 million, which is truly remarkable. I would be remiss if I did not extend special thanks to the First Ladies, to Gay White and Barbara Pryor, countless others behind the scenes, including, by the way, Paula Kerger from PBS National, who has actually helped us with some of our fundraising efforts. So I want to make sure that we honor her for that as well. Contributions came from every single county in this state, which also speaks to the ownership that the state has over the network. And we are truly just humbled and inspired by the generosity of those who consider the PBS programming itself and public television at large to be vital resources in this state. So, thank you.
Thank you. And please convey the thanks to your board and your foundation.
I shall. Thank you for that.
Any questions? Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Chairman, we voted to express our thanks. Could we do that in the form of a letter to each foundation member thanking them for their work?
We would be honored to share that.
In the spirit of what I shared earlier with our executive director, today's headline in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette was inaccurate on a very solid article about the fundraising. It said, Arkansas TV says funding goal met. That's not accurate. Arkansas TV is this station and this commission. And unfortunately, I feel that the two groups have been conflated. And so I would like to offer a series of questions. Again, some I know the answers, some I don't. But to illustrate this important distinction, is the Arkansas TV Foundation a private 501c3 organization?
Yes, it is.
Are the meetings of the Arkansas TV Foundation public?
No, they are not.
Does the Arkansas Educational Television Commission or the Arkansas TV staff control the Arkansas TV Foundation?
No, there is participation on the foundation board always by the leadership of the network, the executive director, and we always have one commission representative who sits on the board of the foundation.
And we have, I would say elected, I guess we did elect our vice chair to serve as that liaison.
Yes.
Correct. Does the Arkansas TV Foundation control the Arkansas Educational Television Commission?
No.
This, and I don't mean this to sound, this could come off as sounding ungrateful, but there's a purpose I get through these three questions. Do you know the identity of the anonymous donor who pledged $1 million a year for 3 years in matching funds to pay PBS dues?
Yes, I do.
Do you know the state of residence of the anonymous donor?
Arkansas.
You can say that?
Yes.
As you just did?
Yes.
That's great. So you're able to confirm the validity of the pledge because of your knowledge?
I have a contract, a written contract, yes.
Terrific. Thank you. And I deeply appreciate the knowledge that Ms. Kerger has helped you in fundraising because, again, we're distinct. Our commissioners can only talk to each other in these meetings.
Understood.
We can talk to our executive director. We can talk to you, a citizen and a leader of a foundation. But it's important, again, to know these distinctions. So would you please convey to Ms. Kerger the gratitude of the chair? I don't speak for the commission, but if the commission agrees, to relay our appreciation for her efforts.
Of course, yes.
Are 100% of donations pledged to the foundation's PBS dues fund dedicated to paying PBS dues?
Yes.
Aside from the foundation's PBS dues fund, you mentioned reserves, but that's for emergencies.
We have reserves, yes, but we also have funds that are raised for things other than the PBS dues. So, for example, when someone goes online to make a contribution, prior to the March meeting, it all just went into one bucket for our discretion. Knowing that there were donors who had specific wishes about where they wanted their money to go, we put on a series of choices on that online donation form that people could give to PBS Dues Fund, to Local Production Fund, or to Greatest Need, which includes PBS dues, local production, paying our rent and shared services agreements, basically our version of keeping the lights on. So we have incoming revenue, not just in reserves, that is also able to be used, for example, offsetting that balance of the CPB funding loss.
And just like any fundraising organization, you have overhead, you have employees. and you have facilities, that sort of thing.
Yes.
The, if you would, I would encourage you in the foundation to think of ways of always highlighting that distinct, independent nature. I mean, we're obviously aligned in the same purpose, but when one of us does one thing, it reflects on the other. And so we need to make sure that, especially our friends in the media, know that distinction. Right. In this case, the writer of an article doesn't write the headline. We all understand that. But that was a great example of how these things get conflated, and we all think that we all are working in lockstep. When I applaud the fact that you and the foundation changed your business model to meet the needs. You said it before, everything went into one pool. You changed, and you did that to meet the needs of the moment. And it has come through in ACES. And again, very much appreciated. And I don't want to speak for the commission, but if anybody else has any more comment about that, please share. Very grateful.
Thank you. I'm just considering again that idea of being reflective. The funds that came in earmarked for support of PBS were dramatic. So if we're reflecting in what happens, the people that we serve, that was an example of it, would be. I don't think I have a question here. I'm just kind of processing out loud that that is part of what we saw earlier in the meeting and here too. So sometimes it feels that is, in real hard dollars, a representation of what was desired by the public of Arkansas for a good number. So I do still feel like, even though the foundation is separate from the station, there's a representation of the public in that.
Yes, and I think to that point, also writ large at the legislature.
Sure, of course.
We saw, and it wasn't everybody on the same page, but it was a common goal to strengthen public television in Arkansas.
Absolutely.
And to some people, that means the rich programming of an external provider, PBS. To others, that means more content, Arkansas focused. And to you and I, it means yes and. We were talking earlier.
That's yes and.
It's everything. It's all of the above.
You bet.
That's great.
Dean Ames wants to talk.
Yes, Dean.
I just want to co-sign what you both have said. I think that one of the, and also to say thank you to Marge and the foundation, I think that this provides a greater transparency for when people donate their dollars. I mean, they have the choice and they voted with their dollars essentially, but I mean, now it's when you log in, you can be a little bit more specific and know where your dollars are going. And I think that is a better way to reflect the interest of the people of Arkansas. So in addition to the thanks for this miraculous fundraising effort, I also want to say I think we heard both all our members of the commission and the public in wanting to know where, when they donate, their dollars are going.
True. I think it also should be pointed out that, and you have shared this before, the agency can actually accept donations from nonprofit groups, not from individuals. Is that?
There's being a 501c3, when an individual contributes, they get a tax benefit by going through the foundation. Yes. They can contribute directly to us, but they don't get the benefit of the 501c3.
So if it's both, that applies as well to other foundations. No tax benefit, yeah. But they could. I say, well, no. Scratch that off. Okay. Very good. Anything else? All right. Well, I do have a motion at this point directed back with what you shared, and you tell me if this is close to what you say. The motion would be the executive director is directed to use all appropriate means to advocate to and negotiate with the leadership of PBS to change their business model in order to better serve the public television needs of Arkansas TV in service of the people of Arkansas.
Yes, and I think we should ask for a contract that reflects a set due.
Well, we have that.
They provide us the dues estimate a few months in advance of the next fiscal year. So that's why we know, like, for the 2027 fiscal year coming up, it'll be 2.151449.
Yes.
Is exactly what our dues will be. And then we'll find out next spring-ish about how much it'll go up from there.
If I don't want to speak for Maria, but what I hear her saying is something that doesn't depend on what we bring in.
Exactly.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
A contract that we could maybe even project forward with more. Like, we have a great year, but it might be a one-time thing. We might have a big donor once, and that caused our dues to go up. And it seems like it's penalizing us for a windfall.
That's what I mean.
That would be involved in that.
It just gives him the ability to negotiate across the
You
board.
understand where we're going here.
Yep.
And
Okay.
I would think, just as we talked about this other collaboration, there are other states. You mentioned before, there are other states hurt more than we are.
Correct.
On this model.
Yes.
And that have a lower population, in fact. So, is it satisfactory with you that it gives our executive director the charge to go make a better deal for the people of Arkansas?
Yes, and for each of us to have a memorandum of understanding, of our, our requirements to understand the contract and put our signature on it, and for PBS to sign it also. We had this deal, was it last year or a year before, where we agreed to a contract without a signature. You weren't here.
Okay.
And I think if we're going to make a contract, both sides must agree and sign.
But we saw the conflict when we were having people talk about the terms of the was it 180 days or not?
Yes, exactly.
And so it is always beneficial to have it in writing, exactly.
Okay.
I have a question, but I don't know if this is the appropriate point, but I'm curious how that's different than what you already do. Like, my assumption is that is, and it is an assumption, but it seems like that's what you do. You have been shepherding through this turbulent time, and I look at where we are, and you are the head of the station during that time, and here we are. So my assumption is this is what you're doing. How does this change what he's doing?
Well, here's what I would offer. We met, and we are staged to meet PBS's requirements. We still believe that there is a better business model out there. So even if we agree to do this going forward, we don't want to lose our leverage to make a better deal for Arkansans. And so the charge is, let's not just call it a day. Let's move forward and be grateful for having maximized our options, but at the same time deliver a better deal for Arkansans. No?
Here are your words. I just thought it was already happening.
Well, you answer. I answered for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you negotiate a deal that is different than what was proposed by PBS?
We asked, and every request was rejected. And so there wasn't really any negotiation to take place. We asked for lower dues, we asked for menu pricing. But what is happening now is where this motion could be effective is other states are dealing with the same situation that we are. And so this encourages other states to band together. One state has a little bit of power. 5 states has a lot more power. 20, 30 states has quite a bit. And in fact, if you take just the 20 states that are statewide, we represent 50% of the viewership in public television. So that has some impact when we can get together. So things like this is kind of, while it's similar to a resolution in the legislative body. Right. This is a call to action, and let's see what we can do. It will get attention by other states as well and encourage them to join alongside us.
And it's not punitive against, it's just simply, it's negotiation.
Yeah.
So with that, I made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And we will now move to regular business. We have commission discussion there, but we have. Dean Nance has a question. Oh, Dean Nance, yes.
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure when it's appropriate to move this, but I think we need to deal with the December vote, and so I have a motion about that before we go into just the commission comments.
Proceed, please.
And can you tell her to proceed?
I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Dean Nance, you can proceed. Dean Nance, you can proceed.
Okay, I just wanted to check timing wise. I move the Arkansas TV Commission rescind the December 11, 2025 vote to disaffiliate from PBS. That the Arkansas TV Commission hereby authorizes the executive director to accept the funds from Arkansas TV Foundation for the sole purpose of paying PBS dues for the fiscal year 2027. And that the funds accepted be used for the payment of those dues for fiscal year 2027.
That is a proper motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Cowie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I tell you what, I would
Aye.
request a roll call on this.
You're going to, I really did not.
Oh, I'm sorry, we
hear-
should have had
I
a
was-
discussion.
I'd like to point out there's irony here that we're public broadcasting, but we can barely hear
Yes,
Dean
I
Nance.
did not hear all that she moved.
Dean, do you have your motion in writing so we may read it here and it be broadcast?
I do have it in writing. I'm not sure how to. I can cut and paste it maybe into the chat.
Can you text it to Executive Director Wing?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good point. Very good.
Well, we had other motions that were not in writing, but I'm.
Would it be appropriate to ask for a 3-minute recess?
It is appropriate. We'll come back and
I don't want to miss a vote.
come back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
While we're waiting.
Yes, thank you.
Chairman.
Yes. Oh, we,
Anti-room.
Yes.
I heard them.
that we're having public comments coming. Yeah, yeah, good.
Oh, you mean they can come in?
Dwayne?
Okay.
Mike's. Okay. Okay.
Did you get it?
Not yet. Oh, here we go. Just arrived. Yeah. When it says for the sole purpose of paying, does that I just wonder.
Accept the funds from the foundation.
It is just, Mr. Executive Director, that is just to the PBS dues fund money that was so designated by the foundation.
Yeah, I guess the
ones,
PBS
the
dues
ones from
fund.
that particular fund that were raised.
Yeah,
to
okay.
Yeah, the ones that are already designated. Yeah.
You want me to text her back?
Yes,
You want me to
I
add
did
that?
speak with Mr. Hudafat.
Okay.
From the designated.
And then I'll make
fund.
sure she is comfortable with that. Okay.
I did visit with Mr. Pudafat prior to make sure everything was in order.
On this member certificate form, so if we get there,
Mark.
just choose a couple names, probably just vote and just put 2 people on there, because these are obviously the previous one are outdated.
Oh, they need 2 commission
Yeah,
members?
this is, it's not called a contract, it's a member certification form.
Oh, I see.
And so.
That's what we do, that's what we do annually.
Right, so it's.
Got it.
This will be Carl's, for sure. Or it could be anybody else.
Yes.
Sachi, but since these 2 aren't here,
Okay.
probably just say we'll need 2 labor representatives and.
Okay.
Everybody can step up. I don't think it entails very much.
Okay, very good.
PBS dues fund money is whatever you want to say there.
Whoops. Is everybody?
When this all started,
The rest of it is just part of
the challenge was on it.
This is a motion in 3 parts.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I got, that's what I got. Motion to rescind it, accept the fund, use them to.
All right, we're back in session. And we did receive in writing the motion from Commissioner Nance. Executive Director Wing, please read the motion.
Okay, and Commissioner Nance, please listen, I made one small change just to specify the fund so that it's all very clear. So make sure that you're comfortable with this, but I'll read it. You'll see just the 2 words that I added. The Arkansas TV Commission rescinds the December 11th, I move that the Arkansas TV Commission rescinds the December 11th, 2025 vote to disaffiliate from PBS. The Arkansas TV Commission hereby authorizes the Executive Director to accept PBS dues funds contributions from the Arkansas TV Foundation for the purpose of paying PBS dues for fiscal year 2027. Any funds accepted pursuant to this motion shall be used exclusively for the payment of PBS dues for fiscal year 2027. Commissioner Nance, is that good for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's her motion.
All right. Any discussion? The motion? Do we have a second? We had a second earlier, right? All right. All right. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
Okay.
Very good.
And thank you to Mr.
Is there any other, it says commission discussion, but we'll have comments from commissioners later on, if that's all right. It would be the same thing. Any other business to come?
I'd just like to comment on what just took place here.
Yes.
While we did not ask for the situation that came upon us with the federal funding cuts, while there is going to be a lot of thanks and gratitude to go around, I want to commend this commission for making the decision that you made in December that set up the success of today. Private dollars came to the rescue to make sure that the dues could be paid. And so this situation happened because of a brave and bold decision, and we now have a great success story that people from across the country will try to emulate. And so I just want to thank you for doing what you did.
Thank you. And Commissioner Sullivan, you had referenced earlier, and you would know because you have the history at the legislature, this was the quickest that the budget went through at the legislature
Absolutely.
in recent years.
Yes.
Or recent memory.
Yeah.
So it took 2 votes, but it
took 5 the year before.
So with that, duly noted. Thank you. Any other?
Chairman, maybe this might be a good time, if there is the renewal of the membership form.
Yes, thank you.
To designate 2 lay representatives from the commission to serve as those representatives.
It will list the executive director, obviously, and then 2 lay representatives from the commission. Do we have any volunteers for those 2 spots?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed something.
There's a member certification form. It's what will be sent to renew the membership for the next fiscal year. And there's some representatives that are required to be placed on the form. There's the professional, which would normally be the executive director, and then there are 2 members. The 2 from last time, I understand, are no longer on the commission, and so we'll need 2 more people to step up and fill those slots.
And what's the purpose of this?
There's communication that can occur. I've got it. I don't want to.
It was the last time. It was Wes Doss and Annette Harrington. They were the ones.
I can read here what it says.
And Courtney Pledger, the previous director. That was on the previous.
Yeah.
It should clarify.
Yeah, I can
when
read.
you say membership, you're talking about membership to PBS.
To PBS, right.
That help you?
It's talking about the representatives to represent, vote, and act for the member in all affairs of PBS in which the member is entitled to vote or participate. For example, the annual meeting of the members, the election of professional directors to the board.
Going by precedent, that I think West was chairman at the time. I would volunteer to do that, and then
And volunteer for that as well.
Volunteer as well, if that's acceptable to the commission.
Yes.
I don't think
Which
we.
Ann?
That Ann.
And with an A.
And with an A. They made a TV show about her.
Do you think we need a motion on that? Or
You can go ahead and do a motion.
All right. I move that Commissioner Cowie and I serve as the 2 lay positions for the recertification for PBS.
All right.
A second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thanks for guiding us.
This isn't really other business, but it's the best place I can think. Could you clarify the dates for the transcribing? Do we know those dates?
Yes.
I think I heard them.
And I believe they're also in your packet.
They're in the back, okay.
Yes.
Last page.
Yes.
Thank you. I haven't turned that far. Okay, thank you.
We've heard that we have folks in the lobby as well, and so as we did last time, we will have a period of public comment. And it's my understanding there was a sign-up sheet.
Yes, I'll be right
up front. And what I would ask, and for those that are wanting to speak, and I'm reading this so to make sure that we're all on the same page. We have dedicated time in this meeting for the purpose of public comment. We have the sign-up sheet that was made available in the lobby to determine speaker order. As a result, we will find out how many we have to speak and then make the determination on the limitations in order to fit that within a reasonable time. And we would ask those to maximize the number of citizens able to speak. We ask that the comments be limited at present to 3 minutes. And for those waiting, if someone ahead of you makes the points you plan to make, please allow the person behind you to take your place so we may avoid repetition and hear all perspectives. And please, when you hear the timer go off, please conclude your remarks so others may speak. We were very heartened at the last meeting that almost everyone abided by that. I think there was only one person who continued to speak, and that actually takes time away from those behind them. So we're here, but it's gonna cut into the people that follow. So if you would be mindful of that, we would appreciate it. And we'll soon know how many are on the list. How many on the list, by the way? 4, okay. Yes, thank you.
If you don't mind, I'll stay standing. It's just hard for me to sit down and stand back up, but Let me be vertical, not horizontal enough.
Would you mind holding, could you hold the mic for her? Thank you.
Thank you all for allowing us to speak, and I appreciate the efforts that went into that introductory indoctrination on Arkansas Now. I respectfully wish to express my concern that PBS is one of the few opportunities for Arkansans to have an opportunity to have knowledge of national and international programming. And I honestly believe that it's of high quality and tries to be balanced. As a matter of fact, it's the only news hour that I'll watch because I don't want to be to the left and I don't want to be to the right. I do tend to be a bit to the left, but that's in honesty. But I really feel that you all have worked a very difficult problem of defining what you think is the money that you have. But you've also received the news that the public has given $5 million to be for PBS News. We all really appreciate, from the time it was begun, when my children were little, to my grandchildren now, feeling that the opportunity to be exposed to other than just Arkansas is good. It's great to have all that you're doing, but I think that this is still lacking in general development of the rest of the materials and knowledge and skills that our people need. Thank you.
Would you please state your name and where you're from?
Peyton Bishop, Little Rock.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I apologize for standing, but you would not like to have seen me get up and get down. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello,
Please have a seat and tell us your name and where you're from, please.
I'm Peggy Casey. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. You might hear that in my... I've been a longtime supporter of PBS. I must say it's probably 90% of what I watch on television. So the prospect, in your mission statement, you talk about empowering learners of all ages in education to inform, entertain, and inspire. I have to say that I credit my watching PBS with learning an incredible amount of information, and it's very important for senior citizens like myself to continue to have education on TV. I think by continuing with PBS broadcasting, we will have that opportunity. A lot of the program on Arkansas TV is focused for young people. I'm not at that demographic. I don't need to learn how to read. I don't need to watch sports. So I appreciate having the opportunity to watch quality television.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Have a seat. Please tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Dora Bradley, and I'm from Little Rock. I've lived in Arkansas the majority of my life. However, I've lived several other locations. I did want to make great comments on the fact that I'm so glad that you've decided that the PBS dues fund will be used for paying for PBS, because that was going to be my #1 request, that it not be sent anywhere else. The second thing that I was wondering is, I don't like a lot of those TV shows, and I've noticed in the Arkansas TV booklet that it has like 4 different sections. Will those 4 different sections allow me to watch my TV shows that I've been watching for years? Will they be at my disposal, or are they just going to be taken off the air? Those are my PBS shows that I have depended on. I also do the PBS News and depend on it heavily for unbiased news. The third thing is, what about those people, if I have multi-channel abilities, what about the common person who just has regular TV and doesn't have, basic TV? Will they have access to those 4 different channels also? I don't know where they are. They don't show up on my TV directory. There are just a lot of things that I did worry about, and the fact that were PBS people surveyed as to what programs they did want to watch and which they can continue watching? I would like to be able to weigh in on that as being a former Friends of PBS, Friends of AETN board member. I was able to contribute quite a few ideas during those years, and I was one of those ladies that you saw up in the balcony that was, you know, on those risers, answering the telephones and making phone calls to friends to try to bring in more subscribers, and which, by the way, I continue to do. There are just a lot of questions I still don't feel like you've answered for me, and I would like to be able to get those answers in some way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, would you like me to respond to some of those questions or wait until the end?
Two more.
Oh, 2 more, okay. I can do that at the end.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hello.
Hello,
Share your name and where you're from.
my name is Brenda Dykes Kelly. I'm from Conway and Little Rock. I grew up in Little Rock, but I've lived here for many years. And I just have to say that this meant a whole bunch to me for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is because I've been a volunteer here for 13 years with the foundation. And these people are wonderful, and they care, and it matters to me. But everything, when all this happened, started going downhill. We all started stressing. We all started doing more. We've all done more. Now, some people are getting paid, and some people aren't, and we're stretching it. We don't get to do what we like to do, which is get out and interact with the kids and the people. But I do answer the phones when we have call-ins, too. I work in the mailroom. I know there's money coming in from all over the country. It's not just coming from Arkansas. Surprising, yeah, especially for a small place, but it's a fact. We have people that call and say, you know, I love PBS, but my local station doesn't do this. My local station doesn't have that. I've never had anybody call and say that about us. They call and say, this is all I watch, and I live in Louisiana. Or this is all I watch, and I live in Tennessee. This is all I watch. And I don't want it to change. We can't lose the PBS part, because PBS is part of Arkansas TV. That's all there is to it. And that's really all I have to say, and I just couldn't cry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello,
What's your name and where you're from, please?
my name is Joy Holmes and I live in Conway, Arkansas. I'm very thankful for the vote to rescind disaffiliation, but I've had a lot of concerns since my attendance at the SIM meeting in March. At that meeting, there was a vote to pause disaffiliation, and then from an outside public perspective, I did not see anything meaningful that suggested that there was such a pause. What I saw instead was the Arkansas PBS sign come off the building during spring break. I saw someone order signage to change all the Arkansas PBS signs on the roads to change it to Arkansas TV. I saw signs on campus change. I saw a gigantic Arkansas TV logo replace the PBS logo in the corner. Maybe it's my perception, but it seemed much larger than the PBS logo when it was in the same place. And there was just all these signs that did not suggest there was a pause that was happening in good faith. It seemed like there was a pause that was not happening at all. If, for a metaphor, if this had been a romantic relationship where someone said, hey, you know, can we take, you know, I don't want to go on a date for a while, but I'm not seeing anyone else. It felt like you guys were seeing someone else. And it just did not feel like that the actions were matching what had been voted on. And I don't know what you guys, I know the commissioners don't speak to each other outside of these meetings, but as far as what the station was doing or was being ordered to do, it did not feel like your words were matching your actions. And so I hope that you also mean this vote, that this vote means something, and that you will follow through on being PBS. because PBS is what I want. I want an Arkansas that is connected to the world, because even if you try to say we are just focused on Arkansas, that is not good for Arkansas. You can have Arkansas-focused content, as you did, which was wonderful, and still be connected to the whole world, because we are a global society. And you don't grow in a global society if you cut yourself off from the world. You don't. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe that concludes public comment. Director Wing, would you like to offer anything?
Yeah, I just, I believe it was Dora from Little Rock who wanted to know about the 4 stations. This is a good opportunity. A lot of people don't realize that we do send out 4 signals. And so if you pick us up on the towers, our broadcast, we are sending 4 signals out. Now, for cable systems, the must-carry law only mandates that they carry our main channel. Some cable systems will pick up our first sub-channel, our second, some maybe even our third, but most just carry that first main channel. But we do send out, and that will not change. That will not change moving forward, our 3 channels that
So
are
if
sub-channels.
people want more, they should contact
Their cable operator, yes. Yeah, their cable provider. However they get, whether it's a streaming service or cable, they need to reach out and ask for that. But we are sending that signal out statewide every day.
And they could use rabbit ears maybe.
Yeah, with the rabbit ears, and that's true. And that's what makes us unique, is we have 10 transmitters across the state that gives us near universal coverage throughout the entire state, but that's all 4 signals. Yep.
So for clarification, smart TVs pick some of those signals up. If they're, you don't have to watch through your cable.
Yeah, if you're picking up, it all depends on how you're getting your service as to what the FCC regulates, which is over the air, and cable has a must-carry law, but the streaming services are not bound by FCC law, because that is an internet signal, not an over-the-air signal. So if you are not getting our 3 sub-channels, ask your provider, whoever they are, for those.
So just to clarify, you're saying there has been no change?
No change.
In the signals being sent
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
I
And
think
this,
there's a public perception that there has been, because some of their local channels have changed, but that's
Oh.
not coming from us.
it's not coming from us.
Through their provider.
Yeah, through their provider, yep.
So if my cable and streaming provider doesn't pick them up, can I find them on the internet at all? Is there anything I can do to watch them?
Well, yeah, almost every TV, when you pick your input, and most of us just default to whatever our streaming service is or whatever our provider is, but you can shift an input to an antenna. And the beautiful thing is those are very inexpensive. And for the vast majority, I mean, we're talking 90+% of Arkansans will be able to put a set of rabbit ears, or if you've got an antenna in your house, and then you pick up all of our digital signals, all 4 of them. And that's something that a lot of people just don't realize, but it's out there. You just shift your input if for some reason your provider doesn't provide our other signals.
I've been asked that question.
Yeah, yeah.
And the national programming that has been televised to this point, Veronica used to be the one that highlights that, and it's been a little bit of a pause.
Yeah.
But it felt like the question was too about, will that programming
Yeah.
look similar? And
That's the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our sub
So
2,
that
3, and
just
4
assures, but
is the same, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to address one of the other concerns, and it follows the theme of what we've talked about earlier today, of the conflation of groups. This station changed its name to Arkansas PBS.
About 5
Last
years
summer.
ago.
Last summer, wasn't it?
Oh, are you talking about?
When we made the switch to Arkansas TV.
No, I'm talking about, before that.
2020, yeah.
In 2020. So for its entire history, since 1966, it was Arkansas Educational Television Network. And that created its own set of issues because, and I say this as a former Chamber of Commerce guy, that it's a common name, Chamber of Commerce. It's assumed you're an affiliate of the United States Chamber of Commerce. You are not. You're an independent organization. It's assumed you're an affiliate of the Arkansas State Chamber. You are not. And you don't make the same decisions that those groups make. But when you have identical names, any decision that is made by the national group impacts the local group. So it's simply returning to our roots, essentially, with a new brand. This had nothing to do with the naming of the station. I think that's a positive thing. PBS is a provider of content. Would you offer any more than that, or?
Yeah, well, and it's very common with most of the public television stations across the country. They go by their own name. I mean, the biggest ones, WGBH in Boston, WETA in Washington, D.C., that's how they go. And so that is more the norm. And so we have returned to that, but also, as you mentioned, we've returned to our roots, so that we were for 55 years as Arkansas Educational Television Network.
Which predates PBS, by the way.
Correct,
PBS was founded after.
Yes, that's true.
We created AET, or the legislature created.
But for clarification, when did we make the change to Arkansas TV? Was that not last summer?
It was.
Before we voted to disaffiliate.
That was the same day, actually, but it was a separate motion. It just, because we meet
So we
quarterly.
didn't do it till December.
Until December, yep.
We talked about it though prior to that, did we not?
Right.
I thought we
That
had
was my first
conversation.
meeting was December, so.
That's right, Ken asked.
No, we did not.
Yes. Any other questions, comments? With that, the commission has the responsibility to annually evaluate the performance of the agency's executive director. So I will accept a motion to enter executive session to discuss this employment matter regarding the required annual performance evaluation of our executive director.
I second that.
Oh, I'll present it as a.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Whoops.
No.
See?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll say it as a motion, and you second it. Yeah. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. We'll, and we will come back in after this executive session and renew our public meeting.
Still not used to Xfinity.
The meeting will reconvene, and we're now at the comments from commissioners. So we'll just take it on this side first. Do you have anything?
Very grateful for our position and the hard work that everyone's done. It is obvious, and I am very appreciative. It's a great station.
I have no additional comments.
No additional? I concur, and very grateful at concurrent activity, that we don't just stop, we continue and deal. This issues are going to happen through the duration of our time on this commission. We have seen it before, we'll see it again. They will all take different forms, but I'm really pleased as to how this has emerged, and the collegiality and absolute collaboration among the staff, the commissioners, and the public, to finally be at a commission meeting when the public thinks enough of this to come in and weigh in.
Yes.
And to speak. It takes a lot of courage to come and speak in an unfamiliar place. And
Absolutely.
And
It does.
deeply respect the passion of both the leadership with the first ladies and those that emailed us, those that didn't contact us but also have passion on the subject. We're here to serve the people of Arkansas, and I'm proud that I think we've done that.
I would agree. I would just like to say that for some folks, getting on a board or commission is just a matter of show up, and nothing's really required of you. And this has not been that board, certainly the past year. But I'm very honored to serve on this commission. This station and the work that we do means a great deal to me. Even though I probably don't get to watch near enough of it, I think that one day in retirement, I'll sit down and I'll find all those old shows and watch them. But I think the quality product that comes out of this building is just tremendous, and I'm just proud to be associated with it.
The only comment I would have is that I think we do need to do a little bit more public education. Some of the things that have not been clear even to us, and certainly not to the general public, we may need to spread that information a little bit more.
How to find your TV station.
Well,
How to use the remote. Maybe that's what we need.
That was a great discussion happening here about just the broadcast signal and how actually easy it is to get that if you have the right equipment. So I think just making this all as user-friendly as possible, that people understand, they know all these myriad of options. It's much like the same thing we talked about with content. There are a lot of content creators in Arkansas. And so we need to make it easy for them to know the rules of the road. This is how you submit. This is how you get your product considered. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to be chosen, but at least it's an avenue for all Arkansans to be a part of this. So thank you for that. Anything else?
Can I ask one last question? Are we, one point, maybe it was more than a year ago, we talked about pursuing opportunities to do production for other state agencies. Have we investigated that, or are we doing anything with that?
Other than what we're already doing, we are seeking that out, and we're making some headway. It is one of those processes of making first people to be aware what we are able to do. But yeah, those conversations are taking place. Absolutely.
And that would involve money.
Yes.
Income for us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Dean Nance. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, I just want to echo all the thanks that have gone out to all the
Citizens of Arkansas and the entities that stepped up to do this, and to the kudos to the two first ladies and to the foundation for their work. I would say about a year and go to where we've been very responsive to the request and interest in additional Arkansas programming. I think that the team has pivoted also in terms of the educational focus that's been requested. So I just wanted to stick a pin in that because I think sometimes we get the bum rap of not really listening to all of our constituencies, including the legislature. And I just want to point out that responsiveness. And then the last thing is just a point of information. This is the last time I'm joining you as Dean Nance. We have a new dean who will be joining the law school July 1st. Her name is Kathleen Guzman. She was the dean of Oklahoma. She is an alumna of our law school, and we're very thrilled to have her joining us. So next time you see me, I'll just be Professor Nance.
Dean, always a dean.
Dean, always a dean. Dean, always a dean.
Very good. Do we have anything else? With that, we're adjourned.